I'm Nicky B, and with me in the studio right now are two of the most prolific and amazing and inspiring musicians of my generation of South African sound. Welcome to the World Show. Once again, it's been way too long. Steve Kekana, welcome, and Babsy Mlangeni, welcome both of you. Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much. I would rather start by greeting Abu Mkaya. A very good evening on a beautiful day, Father's Day.
Yes, I must say happy Father's Day to both of you.
Was it a coincidence or it was just sheer luck? But I enjoyed my day. I was the whole day in church today, doing no evil.
Yes.
Praising the Lord, so I'm fine.
Good, you're feeling inspired.
I'm feeling rejuvenated.
Good, Steve.
I also like to greet to the Mkayas, and of course today is the Father's Day. I was also busy going up and down.
Yes.
Seeing children and having fun.
Getting lots of love and appreciation.
That's right.
Yes.
I love kids. I love kids.
Yes. Well, I know you are both fathers, I think grandfathers.
Yeah.
Yes, grandfathers as well. So thank you for coming. It is, and I thought about it, and I thought, what a better day to not only be celebrating Father's Day, but also we've just come through June the 16th, and wow, it's the next step, if you like, and playing a lot of these songs today, thinking about how relevant they were then, and how relevant so many of them are today. And I know that you've both got new music, but your sounds from yesteryear are still relevant today. So we're going to celebrate some of that. But let's go back to the beginning a little bit. And then we're going to move around in your journeys in music. How did each of you come to be playing music or involved in music? And when did you come together? When did you meet each other?
Let the older one start first.
Okay.
Well, it all started at the Athlone School for the Blind.
Yes.
Yes, and I met a lot of guys who were very talented at the Athlone School for the Blind. So we started learning to play instruments, different instruments, and all that. And we used also to arrange concerts and all that. That's where I started noticing that each time there's a concert and I'm asked to sing something for the kids.
Yes,
it was amazing. So then I decided, and then I thought, as soon as I get out of this, as soon as I complete,
yes,
I think I'm going to venture in music, especially because those days it was not easy to be employed because this job reservation.
Yes,
and most of the blind people who used to work as switchboard operators and at municipal offices,
yes,
and occasionally in hospitals and hotels and all that. But mostly all these jobs that were quite,
yes,
it was meant for whites.
Yes.
So because of that, I decided to venture in music, because I started when Radio Bantu started, I think it was in 1960.
Yes.
So we started making some transcriptions that we used to record for the SABC.
Yes.
Those songs were not sold to the public as such, so it was only meant for, that's why it was called transcriptions.
Yes.
Yeah, that's where I started recording for the SABC.
But what do you mean by transcriptions, Babsy? I mean, was it aired? Was it music that was aired?
Yes.
On Radio Bantu?
Yes, but not sold to the public.
Yes, and I think they used to pay something like a £5 flat fee or something like that in those days.
We used to be paid peanuts, though we're not monkeys, but we could make ends meet with the
yes.
it was, So that's where I started. But then professionally, I started in 1967 when we recorded the first album called Coming Home. And from that album, we took out a single called Sala Emma.
Yes.
Which became a blockbuster.
Yeah, I think I'll have to play that song a little bit later.
That's fine. That's where it all started, actually.
Yes,
Nicky.
yes.
Yeah.
And the rest is history, really. I mean,
Yes, the rest
because
is
that's been with you, music. You've been at the forefront. And I mean, speaking to both of you, if I can say, you've got well over 80 albums that you've released, you know, individually together, yeah. And well over 40 albums each.
Yes.
People don't realize the extent of your repertoire and also the extent of the hit songs that you made as yourselves individually, but also songs that other people used over time and became hit songs for them.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Maybe I need to take my side of where I started.
I think so, Steve.
It started just like in the manner that it started with Babsy at school, but I did not like singing, I have to confess.
Yes.
I would go into the school choir and sing out of tune purposely so that they must chase me away. And then I can go play soccer.
Okay.
Because most of my friends were not good singers.
Yes.
They liked to play soccer. And then for me to join them, I had to sing out of tune purposely.
Yes.
And then the teacher would chase me away. Now, one day, you see, being blind, you don't even see that there is a teacher somewhere listening to you that was singing so beautifully.
Yes.
And then the teacher said, yeah, now I heard that you are a good singer. I'm no longer going to chase you out of my choir. You're going to sing or else.
Yes.
And I know what else meant.
Yes.
So I had to sing.
Singing was a better option.
Yeah, singing was the better option than the else. You know, but I definitely did not like singing. I loved playing soccer. They used to call me masterpieces at school.
Yes.
Because I was very...
But if you
good.
don't mind me asking, Steve, how did you play soccer?
Well, there is this thing that we do as blind people. We get a soccer and then we wrap it up with plastics.
Oh, okay.
Then it would make noise so that if you can't see it, you would hear where it's rolling around.
Oh, that's very interesting.
I was so very good at holding it with my feet, that tiny ball, and dribble like...
Yes.
Yeah. So they use... most people are still calling me master when they see me.
Yes.
And yeah, it is surprising that when Babsy started professionally in 1967, I was doing standard 2. And it took us, I started singing in 78. It took us 35 years to actually come and make a song together.
Sure.
Which is a pity. We always wanted to do that, but
Yes.
we were not allowed because studios would not allow us to collaborate. It's either you collaborate with somebody who is in your same stable or not, but other than that, no.
Yes.
It was really a problem.
Yes.
Because actually, I wanted to tell you, Nicky, that be that as it may, you know, in those days, the problems that I experience was that when I went to the different talent scouts to try and get a deal,
Yes.
they would ask me, Babsy, tell me, how will you be able to record being blind? How can you record being blind? How can you sing being blind?
Yes.
No, I would then also return the question to them.
Yes.
Say to them, tell me, have you ever heard eyes sing? Because you don't sing with your eyes, you
Yes.
use your voice. So, I mean, they, in fact, they used to ask very stupid questions.
Yes.
But then I happened to prove them wrong.
Yes.
Because when we released that album and we took out that single, it really put Babsy Mlangeni on the music journey.
Yes.
The rest is history.
And I think ultimately you and Steve, and I want to speak to Steve about your, can I say, mentorship, but ultimately from the time you began, you've really, really proved that you can achieve anything, regardless of whether you are sighted or not. I think you've both done that individually. And to this day, you still are continuing to do that, to give hope to many people. But beyond that, to give inspiration to people through your sound, regardless of whether they know that you're sighted or not.
But you see, Nicky, people just ask for the sake of asking.
Yes.
I want to believe that many singers who are sighted do close their eyes when they are into the real mood of singing.
Good point. Good point.
And I also, being blind, I still close my eyes when I'm in a real mood of singing.
Yes, yes.
I also do that.
It's like kissing. I mean, I said, it doesn't matter whether you are blind or you are sighted. When you kiss, the minute you are about to touch the lips, automatically eyes close.
Yes.
I don't care who says what. That I know, but people will ask you, how do you sing being blind?
I mean, what a question.
The question was, which I was asked was, do you know Babsy? I said, yes, I've heard of him. He said, can you out-sing him?
Yes.
Then I said, no, but I don't think I'm here to out-sing
Why
anybody.
would you want to? Yes.
I'm here to fulfill what Babsy has established and started.
Yes.
If it's a good thing, I am here to complete it further or to accomplish more out of it. I don't want to out-sing anybody. I just want to sing to the people.
And in a sense, wouldn't your singing be a kind of credit to him, in a sense that it's taking it, he obviously inspired you, he obviously made you want to take it further.
I believe it is what word did you use?
A credit.
It is definitely a credit to him.
Yes.
I don't forget to tell people that Babsy is my role model. He was my role model. He is my role model. He will remain my role model. And the best thing that I ever did was to sing a song with him.
Yes. But now I want to play, actually, in fact, let's do it right now, then we can carry on talking afterwards. But thanks to Babsy, he just came in with his latest album. And the track that we're about to play, tell me about it.
Yeah, well,
it's the title track.
Yeah, it's a title track called Bakai.
Bakai.
Yes, we grew up with a lot of people, and those days we used to be spanked in school, and these days it's no more allowed.
Yes.
So this song is all about where are all those people that we grew up with, where we used to play hide and seek. Yes. You know, people that we used to groove together.
Yes.
People that we went to school together, because some of them have passed on and all that. You know? So some of them got married in different areas of the country. I mean, the different parts of the country. So I was just asking, where are all those guys that we used to have fun with?
Yes.
That is the song is all about.
Thank you so much. The title track of Babsy Mlangeni's latest release, Bakai. And then we're going to continue to hear more of the stories of these two South African musical heroes, Babsy Mlangeni and Steve Kekana. It's The World Show.
A musical journey across the globe. The World Show on Kaya FM.
Kaya FM 95.9, Babsy Mlangeni's latest album, that's the title track, Bakai, proving as always that your songwriting skills are so incredible. Babsy, amazing songs that you've written over the years. I mean, a lot of younger musicians have covered some of your work.
Yeah, no, yes, we write very good songs because, I mean, there are songs that we recorded many, many years ago.
Yes.
And they are still relevant up until today.
Yes.
I mean, one of them is Sala Emma, Mutukio, Tula Makoti, Nakia Pila. I can't mention so many songs.
And is this one of the reasons why you wanted to kind of tribute some of your great songs on this album?
Yes, that's right.
Yes.
When
they what I would call, some of them are what I'd call your signature tracks.
yes, you see, there are two songs that always come out tops. That is Sala Emma and Steve also liked the song.
Yes.
Haskeket.
Yes.
Each time when I perform, people always ask for Sala Emma and Haskeket.
Yes.
I don't know why. I mean,
Yes.
Sala Emma was recorded 1967.
When I was
Amazing.
doing standard 2.
49,
Sure.
49 years ago.
Sure.
And then Haskeket, I think it was 1977.
Yes.
But it's still relevant up until today. That's why I had to try and renew these two songs.
Yes.
But I didn't change the tune.
Yes.
It's just the instrumentation that we had to, trying to. It must sound, today's kind
Yes.
of sound,
Same tune, new treatment.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
right. That's what I wanted to say.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, you spoke about it, saying again that you were in standard 2. Obviously, this was a great time, and that must have been one of those songs, Steve, that inspired you to work with Babsy, to continue to kind of embrace.
Actually, that is a song that made me to believe that being blind does not spell the end of the world.
Yes.
It inspired me, that song, and I sometimes felt if Babsy is singing in this way, then I can also do it.
Yes.
And it was not out of jealousy, it was out of real inspiration. And but you see, I'm a man of many dreams. At the same time, I was dreaming to be a lawyer.
Which you have now achieved. I was going to come to that later.
But at the same time, I still felt that even if I can be a lawyer, I will have to be a singing lawyer.
Yes.
And I'm very happy.
We need more of those.
Thanks God, I managed to accomplish all those two missions.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe we must. I hope if you were singing in court, cases would be solved quicker.
Absolutely. And if more people in the legal profession played a piano or guitar.
Then we would have easy cases.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So are you practicing as a lawyer now, Steve? Because I know you did qualify.
I did practice, but I closed my practice because I went back to be under employment. But now I have stopped. I'm thinking of reopening my practice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I think we should speak more about that aspect of your life as well a little bit later.
No problem.
But I want to again go back into the past. Now, we're talking the 60s, we're talking moving into the 70s. A, it's not easy being a blind person at that time, a black blind person. Mm-hmm. B, you add on to that being a musician.
Yes.
What are some of the challenges that you faced or that you have are proof that you've overcome within the music industry, within getting around, being musicians, having gigs? Was it difficult in those times?
It wasn't really difficult for me, maybe for Babsy. We would make shows and pack halls, but let me tell you of one beautiful hurdle that I had to come across. As a black man, I was not supposed to record with white people.
Yeah, that's a fact.
But I started recording with white people in 1980 when we did Raising My Family, Color Me Black, and we decided to do Color Me Black purposely.
Yes.
Because we said, color me black, color me white. It doesn't really matter. It's love that makes the world go round. It was a message to the Apartheid government at that time. And one day we were playing at the zoo. Now, we were walking hand in hand with PJ Powers. This white policeman came driving a van. He wanted to knock us out.
Yes.
On the road. And PJ stood at the ground and he told him a lot a lot of jazz in 1 minute. And so I remember when we went to England with Hotline.
Yes.
We went to the BBC, and the BBC wouldn't want PJ to be interviewed because she was a white South African.
Yes.
So I had to be interviewed alone.
Yes.
And they asked me a question. They said, but how do you survive as a musician with this apartheid system? And God gave me a brilliant answer. I said, you see, you get killed or you get affected by something that you recognize. If you acknowledge that apartheid would work on you, it will definitely work on you. So I do not acknowledge it. Therefore, apartheid should not affect me. That is why I'm able to work with everybody at any time. So that is a short story of how we came to do the Color Me Black song.
Yes, and in fact, do you think that your English album with a lot of these songs so that you would almost reach a wider audience?
I thought that it would reach a wider audience, but it was blocked because it could only be played in black radio stations.
Okay, yes.
You see, they only started playing things like The Bushman and Feel So Strong a little bit later, but then it was too late. And many people still tell me that these songs, your English songs, my English songs, not yours, Nicky.
Yeah.
My English
well, your
songs,
English songs are mine.
were recorded way before their time.
Yes.
And I do agree, because now you find many young chaps beginning to relate to these songs.
Yes.
Yeah.
And again, as you say, just lyrically, in terms of the message, they are as relevant today as they were when you wrote them.
Correct.
Let's in fact hear this absolute classic, a song of what I would say an assertion of identity. A song which really quite controversial during those times.
And
Song
it was scratched at the SABC.
at the SABC, because they used to scratch it, the vinyl, so that that song
they shouldn't play it.
that shouldn't play it. So in essence, we could say it was one of those officially banned songs from airplay.
Exactly.
Let's hear it. Steve Kekana off his album, the English album, an absolute classic. I was speaking earlier with Babsy about signature songs, and I think this is definitely one of Steve Kekana's signature songs. Color Me Black, coming up on the World Show. I see there's some amazing posts and tweets and emails coming through. I'll have to mention those before we chat again on the other side of this track. You're with me, Nicky B, honoring South African sounds and absolutely giving thanks and honor and appreciation for two of South Africa's greatest, Babsy Mlangeni and Steve Kekana, on the World Show. Kaya FM 95.9. Color Me Black must have freaked a lot of people out. Steve Kekana off his English album. But as you say, completely relevant today.
It is very relevant today. You know, color me black, color me white. You can color me any way you like it.
Yes.
But what matters is it's love that makes the world go round. It's not color.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think that's what we always have to constantly remind ourselves as the world gets more challenging.
As South Africa is getting more racist.
Yes, yes. Or more, I suppose it's openly racist, if you like.
You see, Nicky,
Babsy.
Steve Kekana and them, when they came into the music scene, things were a little bit better.
Yes.
Than they were when we started.
Yes.
Because it was very difficult, firstly, to record as a blind person.
Yes.
And then we had a problem with...
Well, I think even as a black person first, it was difficult. Added to that was being blind. Yes.
Yes. Another thing that was really a problem was, we mentioned it earlier, so many songs that has been scratched.
Yes.
You know, there's a song that I recorded, Toroyaka. But now in Zulu it was Iphupho Lami. Now, at the end of the song, I said, "What to doctor who says pedlela?" You know? They said, I must go back to the studio and go and erase the doctor part. And I must pronounce it like a Zulu. Utogotela. Then it was accepted.
Sure.
There's a song that we recorded as...
So they would go as specific as making you change certain words.
Apartheid was a sick thing. You know what? If you look, our video, Feel So Strong with PJ Powers, because we were holding hands and we're picking them up, you will see, if you look that video, we don't have hands because they had to cut
off the hands.
Where the black hand was handling the black lady, the white lady's hand. So it's like we've got stumpies of arms.
Oh no!
Just to continue, Nicky.
Yes.
At those days we had no highways, so if we've got a show in Pretoria,
yes,
we had to use Louis Botha.
Yes.
Because that was the route to Pretoria.
Yes.
So there was a curfew.
Yes.
At 10 o'clock, everybody must be out of town.
Yes.
You know? So we were playing in a nightclub. And so it ends around about 2 o'clock. So we must go home. But I'm telling you, we'll find them waiting for us.
Yes.
They'll take us, sometimes they will take us to the police station. Then we'll be fined, or they say, we'll tell them that we are musicians, we are coming from the show. And then they say, everybody must get out of the kumbi. That what do you play? No, I'm a saxophonist. You, drama, and you, I'm a lead. Start singing, guys. You know, in the street, started singing just so that they must let us go.
Yes.
So as I'm saying, it was very difficult.
Yes.
Now and then we will find that there's a guy that comes from the Transkei, which doesn't have what you call a dompas.
Yes.
So that guy will be taken to the police station. I must go and beg them.
Yes.
Please let. So I was always the guy who would go and talk, because I could speak very, very well. I was very fluent in Afrikaans.
Yes.
Now, if I wanted something, I get Afrikaans gepraat.
Either that or sing.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, those people were very too well. I mean, they would get us in a roadblock and then they would ask me, "Young, hoe kom draai donker bril?"
Yes.
I said, "No, I'm blind." But he says, "Yeah, but the sun skyn nie meer nie." Meaning, why are you wearing dark glasses at night? Those guys were very good.
But in essence, it was music that kept people inspired and kept people moving forward. And I think, you know, as I've been playing this month, sounds that I call South African anthems, those were the songs, it was the musicians that kept people going through their songs and through those messages, even if they were sometimes, there was a hidden meaning.
There were always some hidden meanings,
yes,
because then otherwise it won't be played. And I've got some friends who are from exile who tell me that we enjoyed your music where we were, and it's the music that kept us hoping that we will get back home one day.
There's a song that I did, that song was scratched.
Yes.
I had to go and talk to Mr. Lowe in Durban. Another song that was also the song that gave me problems was Happy Birthday. Just because I said happy birthday to you, Mtana.
Yes.
They said no. Find a word for happy birthday.
In Zulu. Imagine you'll have to go unwelo route.
Change the whole song.
So I went to Mr. Lowe and I went to his office and said, Mr. Lowe, please listen. Firstly, birthday, we've got a different, our culture is not like your culture, you know. So things like happy birthdays, we celebrate them differently, and we do things differently. So we don't have a word for happy birthday. You know what I mean?
Yes, there's no direct translation.
Yes, we don't have a direct translation. Yes. So then, after a lengthy discussion with him, then he said, all right, let's give it a try.
So you did.
Then I did. I was not afraid to face them.
Yes.
You see, when you are blind, you just talk. You don't know whether that guy is frowning. We just tell him what you want to tell him. That's all.
That's what I always say.
Yes.
When I tell the truth, I tell it without fear, favor, or prejudice, because my truth is not being influenced by body language.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
You just tell it as it is.
Yes, but even coming back to your song, there is no black and white.
Yeah.
There is just love, and I'm sure that is something that you feel from the people, and you hear it in people's voices and them, and how they connect.
Exactly.
Yes, but thinking of these songs that you speak about, Babsy, that were scratched, where are these songs today? Some of them, yes, you've re-recorded in with newer treatments, but I'm sure there's songs that were scratched on the vinyls.
You see, what was strange was, there's a song of mine, Tegeni. It was scratched completely.
Yes.
But because it was banned, it reached gold status. Because once a song is banned, people want to know why is it banned.
So being banned from airplay,
but
people would find a way to get hold of the music.
Yes, that's what I mean.
Yes.
Yeah. So so many songs that have been banned. I mean, there are songs that have been banned. I think some of them I've got to re-record them.
I think you have to.
Yeah. So,
but what were those messages, besides Happy Birthday, what were the messages that offended people? What were you singing about?
You can, sometimes an instrumental, just a title, Get Ready.
Yes.
They say, get ready to do what?
Sorry. Yes, I'm sorry for laughing, but one has to acknowledge the irony of it. Yes.
There's a song, Ntate Mlangeni. Just as it was also scratched because I said that Ntate Mlangeni is on pension, is suffering, just that.
Yes.
So they feel they were also always guilty. These people.
Yes.
Yeah, sometimes
they just don't want. There is a song that it was totally scratched. It was called Sadness, and I said, let the sound of your guitar be the sun, the gun.
Yes.
Let the sound of your guitar be the gun to shoot and kill the melancholy in me. That was too rough for them. They
Yes.
could not stomach it. It was just scratched from the beginning.
It had implications.
Yeah, you said, no. Shoot and kill. No, you can't talk
Yes.
about the gun.
Was there any time or moment, besides the fact that sometimes coming back from a gig you would be forced to sing so that you would be free, but was there any time or moment that because of your roles as a musician, that you were almost threatened, that you feared maybe what would happen when you were at home to your family through the forces at that time?
The only time when I had some problems is when one of my guys, one of us went on exile, Mickey Libona, Kolo's younger brother.
Yes.
So they started interrogating the musicians, wanted to know why did he leave and where did he live and how did he live and all that, So they used to escort us from wherever we went, where we were touring, So there was a time I was traveling with this gentleman here, Bob Matebolo, the one who's driving for me. So they noticed that there's always a car that is following us.
Yes.
So we felt very safe because these people were actually guiding us. But they thought they wanted to get some information.
Yes.
We would get to, let's say we get to Pietermaritzburg, and they'll send someone or a girl, beautiful girls, come and talk to us. Then they'll invite these girls will invite us to their apartments, and then they'll buy liquor. Oh, we'll groove like
Yes.
mad, you know.
Yes.
And then they would ask us questions. We were aware that they wanted to get information from us, so
Yes.
they never got anything from us.
Yes.
Yes. So that's why I say we never felt threatened as such.
Yes.
It was only then when Mickey left, and then that we felt a bit unsafe. But we
Generally,
managed.
you just kept making your music and making sure.
Yes. Another thing that was, it happened to Steve Kekana, it happens to me, it happened to the Soul Brothers and many others, you know.
Yes.
There was, we used to arrange stadium shows, you know. Babsy Mlangeni show.
Yes.
Just the name Babsy Mlangeni show.
Would bring a full stadium.
You would think there's a football match by the Kaizer Chiefs and Pirates.
Yes.
It will be packed to capacity.
Yes.
Today, these musicians must be about 20 to fill a stadium. But Steve Kekana could do it alone.
Yes.
I could do it alone.
Yes.
But today, it's the other way around.
What do you think it is that has changed to make that happen?
I don't know. Perhaps this Steve will correct me. Each time when Steve released a single, it turned gold.
Yes.
Babsy Mlangeni released a single, it turned gold.
Yes.
So you'll find that in that same show, 10 of those songs that Babsy Mlangeni will be performing are hits.
Yes.
Now, some of these musicians that use, I mean, in the 80s, and you find that they got one or two hits, yes.
Yeah, over a few albums.
Yes.
Yes.
Over a few albums. So we used to make, I don't know whether perhaps it can add on what I'm saying.
I think truth must be told without fear. The issue of television,
Yes.
played a big part in reducing numbers of people coming to the stadium. You can check it with soccer.
Yes.
The fact that there is now more unemployment in South Africa than in the 80s, people were working and things were still cheap.
Yes.
And I mean, I'm sure you would go to a stadium with 20 rand, eh? You pay for the show, 20
Yes.
rand. Now they want 150, 250.
Oh, more than that. More than that.
So
Yes.
those are some of the things that make people not afford, not to want to come to the stadium. People not affording to come to the stadium because of the high prices and the fact that they see us on television, they see matches on television. It has, and I'm not saying television is a bad idea.
Yes.
I'm saying we must move with
The way
time.
that people be entertained is different.
And another thing is, we need more money to run a show nowadays. You need sponsorships. At that time, we would buy a roll of calico and then we write on it and then put them as advertisement and people would come.
Yes.
But now, you need to have money. You need to sponsor the show. And you need to advertise it over radio and everything, which is and not only for a week. You need to start it from, like, if you want to have a show in June, you start it in April.
Yes.
In radio and television advertising. So that is big money. Now, for us now, to think we can do it without such sponsors,
Yes.
it's far-fetched. But I think if we can have sponsors, we can go back and draw those crowds.
Yes.
Yes.
I'd love to see the two of you performing in a stadium soon. But for now, let's hear a track. We have to play Sala Emma. So what was the inspiration behind this song, Babsy?
Sala Emma, I dedicated the song to my wife, Emma.
Yes.
Yeah, I met her in the Free State in a rural town, Windbeck. And I spoke to her. Then I promised her that just hang around. I'm just on transit to Lesotho. When I come back,
Yes.
I'll take you.
I'm going to fetch you.
Fetch you. That's exactly what happened.
And that was written when you said 1967?
It was
1967.
No, it was written around about 66.
Yes.
But recorded.
And released in 67.
Yes.
And this, of course, is the updated version, a different treatment, same song, beautiful melody. Babsy Mlangeni, Sala Emma. You can find this version on his album Bakai. Speaking to Babsy Mlangeni and Steve Kekana, it's an honor and a pleasure to have them on the World Show with us in studio.
Sala Emma.
That definitely deserves a clap. Definitely so beautiful, so eternal, spreading love. Still, thank you so much, Babsy Mlangeni, Sala Emma, a song that you wrote for his wife all these years ago. And still, and I love the way you sing. What do they call it again? The quiver in your voice.
The vibration.
The vibration. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. But very much, and you've always had this kind of a strong gospel element to your music.
Yeah, I know it has been like that for all these years.
Yes.
And even the songs that I'm writing these days, I'm busy with another album. If possible, I may just play one track of the new album.
Yes.
It's a Zulu album.
Yes.
There's English, there's Xhosa, you know.
Yes.
And
Is this the soon to be released album?
yes, I'm busy with it. I just I just released a single for the 90% what you call.
Yes.
So people will start hearing it from next week.
Okay, great. I
So,
hope you'll give us a copy. Yes.
Yes, and
Even if we're not obliged with 90 yet.
but I just hope that before the end of this program,
Yes.
I just play one of those.
Definitely we will. But just going back, you said that you performed Sala Emma while it was playing. You said you performed it yesterday, did you say?
Yes, yesterday. Yeah.
Yesterday. As part of the June the 16th.
Yeah, and they were also celebrating the 60 years when our mothers marched to the what's it called?
Yes.
To the parliament. Yes.
Yes.
And
Yes. So you tributed in essence all the women with
Yes.
that song.
yeah. So they all stood up.
Yes.
Then they said, "We want more! We want more! We want more!" It was amazing.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
it was awesome. Really.
Yes.
Yeah.
Some of the most amazing songs ever. That is for sure. And, different people have covered, as I said earlier. Sometimes I don't like to speak of a song as somebody covers it as much as it can be tributed through the way that they interpret it.
What is strange is that this Sala Emma song, we went to Mozambique. They used to say enko. They don't even understand the language.
Yes.
It cut through to the Zulus. It cut through to the colors. They would say, "Hey, Babsy, song Sala Emma Raman."
Yes. Yes.
It was very strange,
Yes.
Up until today, when I go to Natal, they
Yes.
always to talk about Sala Emma.
Yes.
They don't understand the language as such, but they just love it. I suppose it's the melody, or I don't know.
It is, and what you feel coming through it. I mean, look at the World Show. I play music from all over the world. I don't understand 90% of the languages, but you can feel that intent when you hear a song like that.
Yes.
Steve had a way, always, Steve Kekana, always of making songs that are so sweet, but are loaded with content, like, as we said, Colour Me Black, Raising My Family being another one. These are songs, The Bushman. I mean, that's in your face stuff, Steve. You're going to get into trouble doing that 50 years ago or 30 years ago. But
yeah,
you did it.
I was going to get in trouble, yeah.
Yes, but you did it. Yes.
Coming to the song Raising My Family, it actually interprets the way I am or who I am.
Yes.
I'm one person who believes that I am capable of doing things for myself.
Yes.
I'm one person who really does not believe in things being done for me or being told how to do things. You know, like, I remember one brother of mine was thinking that he's going to have to work hard and pay lobola for me and, you know, so he's taking care for me forever and ever.
Yes.
Then I heard this song, then I thought, no, but you see, my brother, when I will be raising my family, I will do it in my own direction.
Yes.
And make the right decision, and I will be okay.
Yes.
That is why. But at the end of it, I still said, my family is here besides me. My family is here to guide me. What I was saying is, I don't mind your guidance as family, but I don't like you as family to think that I have become a burden to you so that you can even think that you're going to work hard to pay lobola for me. When I have to pay lobola, I will pay lobola in my own direction and make the right connections.
Yes.
That's how the song came about.
But in essence, I think it's kind of sums up the strength of character, the strength of the spirit of you, of both of you, each of you. It's that kind of message. You've gone out there and you've done it. Steve Kekana and Babsy Mlangeni with me, Nicky B, on The World Show. Next up, Steve Kekana's Raising My Family.
My family's here beside me, day and night. Beside me, day and night. Yes, I'm gonna be okay. I guess I'm gonna be okay.
Kaya FM 95.9. With me in the studio, yes, absolute legends, Babsy Mlangeni and Steve Kekana. That one, of course, was Steve Kekana's big hit, Raising My Family, of his album, the English album. And you know, you were speaking about the reggae style there. And for me, even the lyrical content suits the reggae style on that particular track.
It will be shocking for some people to realize that this song is a 1980 song.
Yes.
And it was a reggae. Maybe it was not a reggae according to how Rastafari would have approved it, but it makes me feel very proud to be amongst the first who introduced reggae in a lesser form that might have been to South Africa.
No, but I think reggae music is folk music in essence, and it speaks about the people and the folk, and it's, you know, it's like what Babsy was talking about earlier, talking about the old man and the pension and getting by. Those are things that people deal with in life. Those are things that songs should be written about, in essence, to represent the community, the people in your life.
That's what I always tell people, that you see, in the olden days, the biblical days, we had prophets. But nowadays, we have musicians, poets, and book writers as our poets.
Yes.
And prophets.
Absolutely. And again, listening to the songs that I've been playing this month, revisiting them, thinking, so many of these artists from South Africa were prophets. They almost foresaw things and spoke about things. What is the message that each of you would like to say? You know, decades on, 40 years after 1976, how far have we come?
I always prefer the elder to start first. so that when I don't have answers, I might be able to think about them.
Yes, Babsy Mlangeni.
No, really, we've gained a lot of stripe in the music industry. Though we had a lot of problems, we knocked from one door to another, trying to get our music played over the years and so on. We had problems with payola and all those things, but we are getting on today. And today, I'm very happy to that the 90% that has been introduced by Ntate Hlaudi.
Yes.
And it's a very, 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 very. It's like when we cast our votes 1994 for the first time. You know, that's how I felt when I heard this. You know, and really, we come a long way.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And again, I think that artists of today stand on the shoulders of those who came before, people like you and Steve, who stood on your shoulders, and the people like, I know Jonina. In fact, it's thanks to Jonina I must tribute him now, because for bringing us back together again. I hadn't seen you both for so long. And it was at his show that I said, thank you, Joe. Thank you for bringing me back.
On that very cold day.
Yes, on that,
was very
the
cold.
first day that was officially cold.
Because there's something that I wanted to just
Yes.
before we wrap up. You know, I always mention this in many. I have a lot of talk shows. I mean, inspiring shows. What you call talks that I do for these youngsters,
Yes.
especially musicians with disability. I always say, Babsy Mlangeni is aging and Steve Kekana is aging, and we don't see any of these musicians with disability that are trying to keep our legacy alive. You know.
Yes.
Then a friend of mine. Then I was thinking, we've got Ray Charles,
Yes.
we've got Stevie Wonder.
Yes.
I haven't heard anybody. I mean, any blind musician or disabled musician that reached the success that these two reached. You know.
Yes.
So even in America and even here, what's going on?
Yes.
You know, I don't know. Can you answer that, Steve?
Well, I don't know, but maybe there are some blind and disabled musicians overseas. They're just not telling us they are blind.
Yes.
But what I want to leave a message to the musicians or young population of South Africa is this, and I'm taking a leaf from what was said in the church service that I was in.
Yes.
I'm not in any way trying to make myself a pastor. I was requested to give a little speech, and I said, I have a little message to give. You need to honor your elderly, and then your days will increase. But the truth is, never ever think that there is life without risk. Because if there is life without risk, then there is no need to believe, and there is no need for faith. That's why I still want to emphasize this today at Kaya FM, that anybody who wants to reach where we are, disabled or not disabled, must never think it's easy. If he thinks there is an easy road to come here, rather stay where you are, because there is no easy road to come to where we are.
Thank you so much.
It was not easy, but it was worth it.
It still is.
Yes.
Thank you so much for joining us today, for spreading your beautiful songs and sounds over the decades, and for continuing to inspire us. I'm going to end the feature with a track of Babsy Mlangeni's 2001 album. In fact, the album's called 2001. And this one is again Nobuhle, another love song. Am I right in saying that, Babsy?
Yes, it is a love song. Nobuhle means beautiful.
Yes.
She was here, and she still is beautiful.
I'd love to know how he understands beautiful.
I always say sing is believing,
Yes.
but touch is a gospel truth.
Absolutely, absolutely. But also coming back to it, and you said in the beginning, Babsy, you don't see with your ears. I think that both of you see with your ears. Thank you so much for joining us on The World Show. An honor and a pleasure. And let's make it again sooner rather than later.
You're welcome. Have us
That will
anytime.
be appreciated, yes.